Seems like Jermall Charlo, 160-pound middleweight boxer who just beat Jorge Sebastian Highland earlier this year, who's really Triple G's mandatory and could just sit back and wait for a shot, or he can just be a go-getter and go risk it and go fight, somebody like Demetrius Andrade, or he could just sit back and play the field and fight a lesser opponent and just, just wait for his turn, fight a bum, fight a mid-level guy, wait for his turn to fight Triple G is taking the situation by control, and he wants to go out there and be great, and he's matching, his wits, he's matching his aggressive nature, he's matching his mouth, and he steps up and calls out Demetrius Andrade. Now, I know a lot of people say, oh, it's pronounced Andrade. Well, let him go out there and get a world title and be the man at 160. I would call him Andrade. I'm calling him Andrade the way I know how to pronounce it. This your boy CJ Goodfella back with the Boxing Clinic and Mr. Demetrius Andrade and Paul Andrade. Go out there and do something meaningful at 160 and stop being on the pine and being on the sideline talking junk. But this is Jermall Charlo Twitter earlier today. Bring on the ish, and basically he got the Lions only. We know that's what he's called, Lion, versus the boo-boo, emoji. And that's the Lion versus boo-boo Andrade. He said, bring it on, when he could have just sat back, said nothing. We know, we talked about it earlier in the week where Demetrius Andrade pulled up on him after the J-Rock knockout, saying that he wanted to fight him, knowing that Charlo just said this is his last fight at 154. He had problems making weight, while Andrade was clearly still competing at 154. Now we move up to 160. He pulls up on him after the Sebastian Highland fight. Said he wanted to fight him while he was still competing at 154. He got a win versus Alantez Fox. You think he called out Jermall Charlo's name? Absolutely not. He didn't mention his name. He said, I want Golovkin, Canelo. Oh, it's tough for me to fight Danny Jacobs. But he said Jermall Charlo's name? Absolutely not. He didn't mention that man's name. Y'all get caught up in the verbal skills that these guys have. I can tell you when somebody really about it, like Master P and Cameron, when somebody ain't about it, I can tell you Demetrius Andrade ain't about it. He's just one of those guys that moves his mouth real fast and talks tough. But he ain't moving them hands, and he ain't gonna move that mouth versus Jermall Charlo now that he called him out. You think he replied to this? Absolutely not. Like I said, man, these guys y'all think tough. You let them sway you with words, and after the fight, they get beat down, and y'all looking all stupid and puzzled, like what happened, and y'all making all these excuses. At the end of the day, this man just called him out. Let's see how long it takes for Boo-Boo, Demetrius Andrade, to call him out. Because he called him out before, and y'all saying, oh, Charlo didn't say nothing. Well, he called out, he was supposed to fight Jermall Charlo, and he pulled out the fight for a $300K career-high payday. Said I shouldn't be making less than a challenger. At the end of the day, get you a better team and your bankroll will be right. But I'm never worried about another man, what he make in this pocket. If it's enough money for me, it's a career high payday for me, I'm cool with it. But he's never still made $300K. He's only fought twice in the calendar year this year, and before this year was 2013, which was 4 years ago. So you guys getting hype over a guy that's really lethargic, who ain't been active, and, at the end of the day, doing more talking than running his hands. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad he dropped the WBA regular title at 154. Now he want to be up here with the big dogs at 160. Say the word versus Jermall Charlo. But you know what you're going to get from Andrade, right? Oh, I'm on HBO. He on Showtime. Oh, Al Heyman don't have a problem. Jermall don't have an exclusive contract with Showtime. He can come over to Showtime just like Danny Jacobs did for one fight. And I guarantee you, if he come over to Showtime and fight, they going to sign Jermall Charlo to a long-term contract before he fights Demetrius Andrade, because they know what's going to happen. He going to put this man chin in the dirt, man. This dude ain't ready for that yet. And I think he should be quiet until he's ready for that. This is a dude that's putting his mandatory status on the line versus Triple G to go out his way to shut this punk's mouth up. And that's what Demetrius Andrade is. He's a punk that talks tough and lives off his amateur background and lives off a little petty win off of Vanes Monterosi and Willie Nelson. What's good, man? Do y'all forget this the same guy that took years and years and years and years and years on ESPN Friday Night Fights before he was ready to step up in competition? Now all of a sudden he beats Vanes Monterosi and he thinks he's the king of 154? Come on, man. Come on, I talked that trill talking. I was the biggest Demetrius Andrade fan, but I seen through him. I seen the little boy or the little person behind the Wizard of Oz curtain, man. I see through his act. He gonna have to get more active and beat somebody. And this is a perfect start for him. the squirrel with a Charlo twin. He beat the Charlo twin. Can't nobody say nothing to him. He earned a Triple G mandatory. He earned the Canelo Alvarez fight. Can he beat him? Absolutely, he can beat Charlo if he's ready. If he's more active, I'd like to see him take another fight. But right now, after you called him out, why you ain't fought once a year since 2013 was your last multiple fight year? Well, you said you was ready, you know, a couple months ago. Before this Alantez Fox fight. That was your warm-up. He had a little warm-up versus Sebastian Highland that people didn't think much of because the dude looked injured. So let's run it back. You know, let's wait. Demetrius Andrade, let's make the fight. Tell HBO to make the fight. You know, they know they're going to have to sign Jermall Charlo because they know what's going to happen. You know, this dude Charlo ain't active enough. He going to get knocked out or beat severely. So let me know what y'all think. We out.